Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Golo Studios. Today we are making a birthday card for my godfather, and whilst we do that, I thought I could tell you a bit about myself and the channel. My name is Lily, and I am 15 years old as of this video. I am still in school and I am taking 10 GCSEs. I am a person with many interests, and art is one of them. I have always been a creative person. I began sewing aged 3 with help from my grandma and have been crafting since then. If you have seen my other socials, you will have seen that my work is predominantly sunsets at the moment. Sunsets is where it all began. As I mentioned, I have always been creative. I think I was about 12 when I decided to create a sunset drawing for my dad's birthday. Back then I didn't have many art supplies, so I ended up using watercolour pencils. I'll put a photo up of the drawing now. In the drawing, the person is my dad, and the dog beside him is his old dog from when he was younger. Basically, I wanted to create a picture for his birthday with a sentimental meaning. I have always been the kind of person to love sentimentality, as you can probably tell from the card I'm making right now, as it has so much more meaning and love put into it compared to one you just buy in the card shop. More recently, and with encouragement and praise from others around me, I decided to start my own business in hope to share my art with the world. Art has always been a joy for me, and at times an emotional outlet as well. The way the paint glides across a canvas, or card, and how a blank canvas can become so much more than what it first was. And yes, that is a metaphor. I am creative in many outlets, and I love writing as well. I tend to write poetry sometimes. Because my creativity isn't limited, Golo Studios will most likely end up being more than just paintings, but poetry, drawings, and maybe a few other things. Because Golo Studios is where creativity comes to life after all. But that's for the future. Right now, let's focus on this video. Just a disclaimer, I can't paint as fast as you are seeing in the video right now. It is sped up. The original video was about 47 minutes long. Some of you may or may not be surprised at that time. That's the time it took me to paint the entire front of the card. Sunset's one of my most practiced pieces, so they don't take me long. As I know the process so well, I'm going to talk you through it. Currently in the video I have already reached the second colour of the gradient, but before that I first chopped the card to make it A5 and then chopped a further centimetre-ish off each side. You'll see why later. I then taped that piece of card to a bit of scrap newspaper. I find that stops the card curling up so much with the paint. Then the first colour I tend to go in with is a dark red, and this often covers most of the canvas compared to the other colours. This is then followed by a lighter shade of red to begin to create the effect of a sunset gradient. This step is then repeated with an orange and then a yellow. I don't really clean the brush between the colours as I find it makes the gradient blend better. I have sped this up a little bit more just so it's faster for you guys. Here we are finishing up the yellow of the gradient. Also, as gorgeous as the sun was whilst I was painting this, it made it really difficult to see the actual painting. That's why I kept on having to lift it up just so I could see the brush strokes. Now we have a finished sunset background. After the background is complete, I then paint the sun. Just off camera I am mixing the colour for the sun. The sun is quite an intricate part of the painting, as you have to create a relatively perfect semicircle, although I don't really tend to aim for perfectionism in my artwork, despite being a perfectionist, as art is subjective and will never be seen as perfect by everyone. As an artist, I've begun to learn a few key points that are good to apply to general life. The first being, not everyone is going to love you or your work, and it isn't your job to make that happen. Secondly, the most perfect thing in someone's eyes could be average in another perspective. Like I said, art is subjective, so are you and your life. Third, everything can be developed further. You never truly reach a dead end. Fourth, and my final lesson, for now, there is beauty in everything. Right now, I am layering the paints of the sun. This allows it to stand out more against the background and against stuff I'll paint over it. Trust the process, guys. As you will see right about now. I cut out part of me painting the sun because it did take me a while to do multiple layers. Now, I hope you guys trusted the process. As you can see, I have begun to paint the trees on the bottom of the card. I took inspiration from one of my original paintings. I shall insert it here. This was a relatively recent one, and I genuinely love how it looks, so I'm going to create a bit of a replica. Oh, and I also painted some clouds. The clouds aren't the easiest to paint, though they aren't hard. They require a relative amount of blending to get them to look good, in my opinion. I have sped up this part majorly, as it's just me finishing off trees and retouching the middle cloud with a tad more paint and a sponge. Now, here's where it gets to the good part, where the card finally comes together. I did tidy up the desk and the paint tubes a little bit before though. Currently I'm peeling off the tape. Some of you may ask, but now your paint doesn't reach the edges. Why have you done that, Lily? You shall see in a moment, dear viewer. Now this is why the paint didn't need to reach the edges. I chop off the sides once again. To be honest, using the guillotine is extremely satisfying, and I could sit here all day. But the show must go on. As you can see, we now have a perfect card front. Now we must make the actual card. Take a piece of white A4 card, fold it in half. Honestly, this bit is just common sense. And then voila, you have the card base. Now it is time for the fun part, sticking the card together. Bear with me while I acquire the bottle of PVA glue from the other side of my room. Ah, here we go. Now we must pour an adequate amount of glue over the back of the card. From experience, you need quite a bit. Then get a paintbrush and satisfyingly spread the glue evenly across the card front. Once the glue is spread across the card front, place it centrally on the face of your card base. Hey, that rhymed! Making sure that no glue is unnecessarily over my card. Ugh. Look at that masterpiece. But alas, we are not finished. Here comes the magical white marker. Ugh, I really must invest in a better one. Watch me try to get it to work. This thing will honestly be the death of me. I'm going to speed this up. I'm only writing happy birthday with a dodgy marker after all. And now, for the finishing touches, we add my iconic birds. I never do a sunset painting without them. I still wasn't happy with the marker pen. And here is the finished result. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, share it to your friends, and check out my other socials. See you in the next video. Bye!